Welcome to Manga Mac News! It's the news that interests us and should interest you too. This is news for the week of February 7th, 2022. And we got a big news item this week. Mangasplaining, which is a great podcast, has announced that they are doing Mangasplaining Extra. It's going to be a manga publishing program, an offshoot of their podcast, headed up by Christopher Butcher, Andrew Woodrow Butcher, and Deb Aoki. And basically, they're working with Substack, which is a platform and publisher for newsletters. And they're going to use that platform to put out and start publishing manga. And the first two projects for Mangasplaining Extra are Okinawa by Susumu Higa. They actually just put out the first chapter for free to read. And that's translated by our friend Jocelyn Allen. And also, they're doing that in partnership with Fantagraphic Books. And then they're also doing a one-shot by Taiyo Matsumoto called These Days. And besides Fantagraphic Books, they'll also be partnering with Udon Entertainment for their other titles that they will be announcing soon. Mangasplaining, living the dream!
Big fucking flex on every single podcast out there. Like,
okay.
Oh, guess what? Let me just put some manga out.
Okay, but they literally have all already worked in manga.
Yeah. That podcast is made up of industry veterans, so
yes,
it is. It's not so much a major flex as they have the resources, and I think what they're doing is awesome. This is a very cool idea.
It's really interesting. I'm curious to see how it does. I don't know what their listener base is like. I'm sure they have lots of listeners.
Listen, they're working directly with Jocelyn Allen, our friend and translator. They should publish Wombs.
I'm sure she's begged them already.
Yeah, Jocelyn's already there. Just make it happen. Publish Wombs. Do it yourselves.
So they mentioned that they're gonna partner with Fantagraphics for some of this. It'd be really weird to see Wombs published by Udon though. I don't like, as in terms of like what Udon puts out, that doesn't seem like their bag.
Honestly, 7Seas picking up Wombs would have been the best.
And that seems like 7Seas is getting everything these days. They're really
or Dempa.
Knocking it out of the park. Yeah, no, but 7Seas has been consistently impressing me lately with their licenses. So I would not be surprised if and when Wombs comes stateside or to North America, it comes via 7Seas. That would not surprise me in the least.
So there has been a little pushback about this announcement because a lot of people do not like Substack. Now, I didn't know anything about Substack, but Substack is a Silicon Valley-backed company, and it's like supercharged the newsletter industry by making itself like a platform, but also kind of a publisher. The thing is, they are they're giving money to, like, I would say far-right journalists, creators, people who have been like kicked off of Twitter for like repeated violations.
Oh, they're not really like discriminating against who they do business with. Basically, is that what's happening?
Yes.
Like, known bad actors, known shitty people.
But also, they have directly shelled out payments to these people to come on their platform. So it's not everybody, but they do have some like what you would call maybe like problematic or bad actors on their platform. But also, like, is it just because you're a platform? You're actually like shelling out money for people to come like do stuff on your platform.
Yeah,
it makes you kind of a publisher as well.
Right. It's one thing to be like, well, anybody can use our platform as long as they don't violate the terms of use. It's another thing to be like, we invite you and give you all this money to be on our platform because you have a huge audience or whatever.
Yes, that sounds opportunistic, especially if they've been deplatformed somewhere else and they're like, oh, well, come over here. Come over here. It sounds like you're aware of this, right?
I mean, someone who left the Substacks said, quote, I think if you're a progressive, you want to know if you're publishing on a platform that's essentially subsidizing Breitbart. So, yeah, there was some people were like not pleased about Mangasplaining Extra being on Substack, but that was included in their kind of like press release So I have it from their from Mangasplaining press release right here that last but not least, we're aware that not everyone loves Substack as a platform. This work couldn't happen without them thanks to a generous publication grant. Being here lets us translate and publish good work and pay artists and professionals to do that work. It also lets us make donations and causes to charities that mean a lot to us. So they're also going to be donating to charities Rainbow Road and Japanese American National Museum.
I know that one of the former people who was at Substack who was complaining about them specifically targeting queer, or elevating voices that targeted LGBTQ folks.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
And Chris and Andrew are married. They are husbands. There are many queer people working on this, is what I guess I'm trying to say here. So it's not like I'm aware. Obviously they're aware because they mentioned it, but I'm sure it's not inconsequential to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just seem pretty straightforward about it and say that, this endeavor is partially only possible because of what's happening with Substack, and they're,
and Substack
the donations and stuff.
Yeah, and Substack is kind of a unique platform in that you can pay to, have a newsletter. There's a component of it that I have not done a lot of newsletter stuff. I've mostly used MailChimp, which people will just sign up for your newsletter and it's free as far as I'm aware. But this particular, they act more like a publisher where people can purchase, almost like a Patreon really, where people can purchase access to this information in a way that they can't do elsewise. So it's a unique platform that lends itself to this kind of project. Yeah,
I mean, Deb was replying to some people on Twitter saying that I just can't support Substack, and she was saying that's fine. We hope you'll pick up the print editions because they won't have anything to do with Substack, and those will be coming out later. So I think it's good that they recognize what people's perceptions of Substack are, and they're being forward about everything. But also put out wombs.
Put out wombs.
Put out wombs.
Yes, Substack drama aside, it's nutty news and it's really exciting. I mean, it's basically just another small pub putting out a really interesting manga that wouldn't have come out otherwise.
I read that first chapter of Okinawa. It's good. It is good. We should talk about it next week. But yeah, that's the big news item for this week. Beep 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 beep. Bye.